guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle West, and today I will be filming my labor and delivery story. So, story time, I guess. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you would like to see more content like this, and keep on watching. So, as a lot of you guys might know, I was pregnant. Found out I was pregnant in December, like the week before Christmas, I think. So yeah, I was pregnant, and my due date was August 19th, 2021. I was having a boy. Well, I had a boy, and he came 3 weeks early. So my due date was August 19th, 2021, and I gave birth on July 27th, 2021 at 12:38 a.m. at Brooklyn Hospital. So on Sunday, July 25th, I noticed that my baby was not moving around as much as he usually does. So I kept monitoring because they have a kick count. You count how many times they kick within the hour. It's supposed to be over a certain amount, and I just felt like he wasn't meeting that number, so I was worried. So later that night, I was trying to just, maybe he's just sleeping, because in the 3rd trimester babies sleep a lot more. And then again, I'm skinny, and I was legit straight belly my whole pregnancy, so it wasn't like he had a lot of room to move around anyways, so he really just wasn't moving around. Anyways, Sunday night around 8 o'clock, I woke my parents up and told them that I wanted to go to the hospital because he was not moving as much as I would like him to, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So we went to Kings County Hospital. Get to Kings County, they strapped me up to the monitor to check his heart rate and everything like that. Vitals and all of that stuff. So the doctor came and she did a sonogram, checked him out, everything seemed fine. He was kicking. As soon as they put the monitor on my belly to hear his heartbeat and everything, he started kicking away. So he was fine, but they checked my cervix. And that thing is so, I think that's one of the worst parts. Contractions and all that is bad too, but checking your cervix. So this doctor now, she checked my cervix, and I was about, I think 2 centimeters dilated. So they kept monitoring me for a little bit. They wanted to make sure, they wanted to make sure everything was okay. And she came back within an hour or so, and she checked again, and I was 3 centimeters dilated. So she's like, okay, it's progressing. So basically because I don't go to Kings County and I have no information at that hospital, they asked me what hospital I usually go to and whatnot. And I was born at Brooklyn Hospital. My brother was born at Brooklyn Hospital. We've been going to Brooklyn Hospital ever since we was born. Doctor's appointments straight up. Till now, my OB was in Brooklyn Hospital. Yeah, so that's the hospital that I go to for anything. So they were asking if I wanted to stay at Kings County or if I wanted to go to Brooklyn Hospital, because I was dilating and it was getting, it was progressing. So I decided to go to Brooklyn Hospital because I wanted my son to be born at Brooklyn Hospital anyways. And it just made sense because all my information was at that hospital. Like I said, doctor's appointments and whatnot. So they had everything on me already. So they discharged me from Kings County, and me and my mom took a Uber to Brooklyn Hospital. This was at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe. Yeah, like we got there. I think we left Kings County like maybe 1:30ish or so, and we got to Brooklyn Hospital at 2 o'clock or so in the morning. We get to Brooklyn Hospital now. We had to go in through the emergency room because the hospital itself, the main entrance is closed. So we go through the ER, and yeah, you know, you register or whatever. Had to give the lady my ID, and then they told them that I'm going to labor and delivery. They put me in a wheelchair and took me upstairs. I went to triage, and they took my vitals and whatnot again. Basically everything that I did at Kings County, I did again at Brooklyn Hospital. I'm at Brooklyn Hospital now. I'm in a bed. I'm having mild, I believe I was having very like mild contractions. Nothing too crazy, like a little cramping, like period cramp pain. So the doctor comes now. I'm hooked up to the machine again and everything. His heart rate is fine. He's kicking. Everything is fine at this point. It's not even about him. It's not even about him not moving at this point anymore. At this point, it seems like I will be giving birth. So they checked me again. And I swear every time they was checking my cervix, I wanted to cry. Because when they check your cervix, they take 2 fingers, right? And they put it in your coochie. And it's not like they just put it, and okay. No, they put it, right? It's like this, okay? You feel like it? And then they push their fingers all the way up into your coochie. And then they add more fingers to see how dilated you are. And they keep going. So almost every time they was checking, I wanted to cry because it hurt so bad. Like, it hurt. So he checked and I was about 4. Was I feel like I'm mixing this up. Okay, so he checked again this time. I remember I was 1 to 2 at Kings County, and 3, I believe, the last time the lady checked me at Kings County, went to Brooklyn Hospital and was a 3, I believe. 3 going on 4. So they told me to walk, right? Mind you, it was 2 doctors. So it was a guy and a lady. The guy checked my cervix, and then the lady checked to be sure. Twice. They checked twice. So then they spoke to their doctor and whatnot. Came back and told me to walk and see what happens after that. So I had to walk for about 2 hours up and down the hallway. Me and my mom up and down the hallway, stopping for contractions. And my contractions were pretty close together. They weren't like significantly spaced out, maybe like 2-3 minutes or so. So we're walking up and down the hallway for, I would say, because I took a half an hour break, about a half an hour break, because I was tired. Like, a pregnant belly, feet swelling, contractions, them checking my cervix. I was tired. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't know. It was early. So walking up and down, me and my mom in the hallway cracking jokes. Mind you, I have contractions, and she over here making me laugh. So We were legit walking up and down that hallway, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Stop for contractions, breathing. That's one thing though, I was pretty good on my breathing and everything because I was trying not to freak out. But we were legit walking in that hallway for a minute. So time goes by now. I go back. Once they told me, it was the 2 hours they told me what time, like, to stop walking. When the time came, I stopped and I went back into bed. So they came back and they checked me again, and I believe I was 5 centimeters at this point. So after they checked me and I was 5 centimeters dilated and I was about to be transferred, that one of the nurses, I had to do a COVID test, and I think my contractions was getting bad at this point. I had to do a COVID test and I cried because it hurt. Like, I was not ready. I was trying to prepare myself, and the lady just shoved it up my nose, and then I was trying to tell her to wait because she had to do the other nose. She's like, I have to do it within a time frame. I'm like, lady, if you don't wait. And she shoved the other one up my nose, and I started crying because it hurt so bad. I hate doing COVID tests. They hurt so bad. Like, even the swab. Some people just swab like around your nose. Some people be shoving the whole thing up your nose and digging, like they digging for gold or something. But she did the COVID test and whatnot. I was hooked up to IV and everything, and they put me in the labor and delivery room. So they moved me over to labor and delivery, like the delivery room. So walk over to the delivery room now. It's a nice little room, you know. TV, you know, the bed and everything. It was giving the homey vibes. They had the chairs and everything, but you know, my mom and whoever else wanted to come. So I'm in the labor and delivery room now, getting settled and whatnot. Very mild contractions, like it's doable. Wasn't feeling much pain or anything. Like, I was sleeping, I was getting sleep. Yeah, so they came and they would keep checking me. I think they checked me again and I was still 5. So then morning time comes now and I'm up, you know, chilling or whatever. Contractions was okay. I wasn't feeling much, like little pains, nothing crazy. Like I said, period cramping. They came to check me and I was still 5 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, I'm 5 centimeters and I'm staying here. Like, I'm not about to, I mean, they're not gonna discharge me, but what's going on? I'm not about to be sitting here going through, you know, because I know the contractions is gonna get worse. But I'm not about to be sitting here with, I'm only on 5 and I have to get to 10. 10. You have to get to 10 before you can start pushing. So I'm at 5. And again, with this cervix check, it hurt. So every time they come in, they like, we gonna check. Every time, I think they check every like 5 hours, I think, or a little less. And the first 2 times or so that they checked me, I was still 5. The lady came back, one of the nurses came back, and she's like, they prescribed you, or they brought, you know, they put in an order for some medication or whatever. And I asked, I said, is it Pitocin? She said yes. I said, no thank you, I don't want it. I didn't even say no thank you. I said no, I don't want it. And she just legit, she ain't come any closer with it, nothing. She straight put it away. I don't want it. I always said that I did not want to take Pitocin. And my plan was to go as long as I can without getting the epidural until like the pain is really unbearable for me to get the epidural. Not in the beginning, and I feel a little pain, and you know, if you don't know what, let me get the definition for well, not the definition, but what Pitocin is. It's basically Pitocin is basically a drug that pushes on the contractions. It strengthens the labor contractions. It basically like forces your body to labor, so it's more pain, honestly, and it's pushing your body to do what it's supposed to do naturally. I'm like, no thank you, because my pain tolerance is already low and I'm already dealing with the contractions. They hurt, but I'm dealing with it. I don't need Pitocin now to come and mess me up even more, because no, I don't got time for that. Told her I don't want it. And then they're basically like, well, you know, we're gonna have to find an alternative because you're staying at 5. So at this point now, going on, my contractions are getting stronger and stronger, to the point where I know when they're starting, the peak, and when it's ending. So I have to, at this point, I'm timing myself with breathing and everything, preparing myself for the peak of the contraction, because that's when it hurts the most. When it's coming on, yes, you feeling it's cramping, but it's like a mountain. Cramping, pain, and then it's coming down, the best part. So I got to a point where I was bawling. Each contraction, I felt like I was about to pass out. It hurt so bad. And I'm like, no, I can't. I literally couldn't do it anymore, where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready for the epidural. I was keeping Pitocin like at the side, even though I said I didn't want to do it, only because I wasn't progressing with my dilating. I was stuck at 5 for a while, and I'm just like, honestly, I'm not about to be here, or you know, I'm not about to be in labor for hours, days. I'm not doing that. So if I gotta take the Pitocin to speed up the process and get him out, I was open to it. But once I took the epidural, which it didn't hurt when they put the needle in my back or anything, it was more of the contractions, and they was telling me not to move because my contractions were so strong that my body was shaking and everything. Like, I'm sitting here shaking. So got the epidural, and it wasn't like how people explained it to me. I don't know if I honestly feel like I didn't have the strongest dose of epidural. They was giving it to me in bits by bits or whatever. I felt better though. Like, the contractions, I couldn't really feel the pain. It was more pressure now, and my legs were numb, but I could move my toes, which was very weird for me. I don't know, but so yeah, the pain was pretty much gone, but it was more of pressure now. So I'm feeling like I gotta poop, but it's no poop, it's his head. And it's like, at this point, I'm feeling like I want to push. So because my contractions stop hurting as much, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for them to come back now to tell me if I dilated or not, to see if I'm gonna do the Pitocin, because I did the epidural first, so that when I get the Pitocin, I'm not feeling the contraction pain. So the doctor comes back now, and she checks me again, and she says I'm about 7. So I jumped from 5 to 7 after getting the epidural. So I'm like, okay, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that I'm still at 5. So I'm like, okay, no Pitocin, I'm not taking it. I'm progressing now, I don't want it anymore. The pressure, this was a main part too. The contractions was bad for me, but the pressure in my butt, and because I got the epidural, they had to put a catheter for me to pee. That was very uncomfortable as well. Like, I didn't like that. And they had to break my water. So I felt like I was peeing myself, like, badly. Even to the point where the lady put the catheter, And I was like, Miss, did you do this right? Because I feel like I'm still peeing, like I'm peeing. And she's like, no, the pee's going into the thing. And I'm like, you sure? Because I'm like, I feel myself peeing. She's like, no, that's the water still coming out. I guess my amniotic fluid coming out because they broke my water. That, I didn't like that. I felt so nasty. Like, it was just, I couldn't control, well, obviously, you know, but I couldn't control nothing. I couldn't feel my legs. I gotta pee through a tube. My water is broken, and I'm just gushing fluid. And then the pressure in my butt, that makes me feel like I gotta poop a rock out. No. So then she checks me again later in the later now. I believe I remember around this time, because my mom was telling me as well, that it was about, I want to say 10, 11 o'clock around that time. They came back to check me, and I was about 9.5 centimeters, and I was happy because you know what that means. That means I'm about to push. So I guess she you know, gathers her peoples and whatnot. We did a practice. She said she was gonna help me get to 10. We did a practice push and whatnot. She said I did really good with the practice push. And when I did the practice push, you know, I'm like, okay, so this is what pushing is like. No. We did the practice push. She said I did really good. I got to 10. So they rounded up everybody now to get everything going. A whole bunch of people in the room. Nurses, the doctors for the babies, the doctors that's helping me push, the doctor that's catching the baby, my mother, and my baby father, and just a whole bunch of people. So they open up the thing to put my feet, my legs is open, everything out. And they bring down the light up the ceiling and whatnot. And now they tell me I have to push, right? I have to push within each contraction. So you don't just push. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you just push. Like, it didn't matter if it was during the contraction or not. You just push. Like, the whole time you're just pushing. But you push when you're having a contraction. So I'm feeling my contractions coming. They're coming. I have to take a deep breath in, bring my chin in, and push. Push out, like, but from my butt, kind of, like, not, I don't remember what they were saying, but basically I had to push from below. So we doing that now, and they want you to do 3 push, like 3 times, and I could only do a good 2 or like 1.5, to be honest, because I was tired. Because once my contractions started coming in full force before the epidural, and then when I got the pressure in my butt after the epidural, there was no sleep for me, nothing. There was no sleeping, no naps. All that good stuff ended in the morning time, like when I got my 2-3 naps in. So I was tired. They're like 1, 2, 3 push, okay. It was basically like you can't waste the contraction. Like, when the contraction comes, you have to push. So, and then do the 3 big pushes within that contraction. So I was doing okay in the beginning, you know, going, pushing and whatnot. But I started getting so frustrated and tired that I could only do about 2 pushes. And it's like, you're not supposed to like let the breath go. Like, you're supposed to hold it and push. But I kept letting the breath go because I couldn't breathe and I was tired. So yeah, and then after a while I just felt like giving up, honestly. Like, I was so tired. It was so much people in the room too. I'm not gonna lie, I was very overwhelmed with the amount of people, a whole bunch of people talking to me, a whole bunch of people in my ear, my mother on one side, my baby father on this other side, you know, telling me push, and I'm like, I mean, I'm trying to push. So the doctor's telling me to go again, and I'm just like, I can't go again. And they're like, all right, wait for the next one. And I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm waiting for the next contraction. I can't push no more. So we gonna wait. So I was doing that for about an hour. They kept telling me like his head is right there. It's just that one last push that to get it out or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all lying, because I don't feel like I'm doing all this pushing and his head is still not out. Like, his head is that big that it's not coming out. So they're like, his head is right there, and I touched it. I was like, can I touch it? And I touched it. His head was right there, and I feel like that was giving me, I guess my mom said she felt like it gave me a bit of motivation to push, because I was in there telling them I can't do this. My anxiety, I was basically having a panic attack while giving birth, to be honest. I was like, I can't do this. I was hot. They was feeding me ice. They was getting cold rags, everything, because I was so hot. I took my hospital gown off, everything. Like, I felt like I couldn't do it. Like, you ever seen that meme and it was like, I don't know how I'm gonna give birth, that baby will have to stay in me, or something like that. That's how I felt at that point. I was pushing. I'm like, you know what? He's just gonna have to stay inside, because I can't do this no more. Like, it was a lot. It was taking a toll on my body. I kept switching from center position to side position to try and, you know, get him out. But I was so tired and overwhelmed. I just really felt like I couldn't do it. But after I felt his head and the fact that he was right there and I wanted to get it over with, I was over it. I just wanted to get him out so I could just relax, even though that didn't happen either. I pushed some more and his head was coming out and everything, and just from a flash, he was out. After a little while, he came out face up, and something with his shoulder was telling me about, like, his shoulder couldn't really come out, so I ended up tearing a little bit. But yeah, he was out. And I heard, because I'm not sure, I didn't see for myself, but I was hearing that his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. My umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck when I was born too. So, you know, they had to take their time and actually, you know, deal with that. But once he came out, I ain't hear no cry, because, you know, babies come out, you expect to hear a cry, or the doctors, you know, wake them up and whatnot, so there's a cry. I didn't hear no cry, so I'm like, what is going on? Is my baby okay? Like, I'm like, what's going on? They took the baby to clean him up, and then they was trying to fix me up because I still had to get stitches and everything. And I felt like they was being mad, like, rough with me afterwards, because they was trying to open my legs to stitch me, and my legs is numb, and I was just pushing. My legs were on fire, literally. So my legs was like this. They wanted me to be like this, but no, I couldn't do it. I had to stay like this. So you gotta work around that, because I'm not opening my legs anymore because it hurt. They was cleaning up the baby, and I heard him cry. Once he started crying, I started crying, because I was happy he was okay and all of that. So after they finished stitching me up and whatnot, they cleaned me up, and I got to hold my baby, and he was so cute and fat. His cheeks were so fat. He came out with a cone head, I'm not gonna lie. When he was coming out, I thought he had like two heads, like two 2 domes. That's how long his head was when he came out. Yeah, after a while I got to hold him and everything. His father got to hold him, my mom got to hold him and everything. And then they took him to the nursery, and then they started, you know, dealing with me again. They took out the catheter, put me in a diaper thingy, and yeah, that's basically the story. I don't feel like I'm messing up these. I know that the doctor came, one of the doctors came to me and she was like, you know, you was really pissing me off. But your baby is so cute, so I'm not mad at you. Or something like that. And I'm like, girl, y'all was pissing me off, okay? It was a lot. It was a lot. But for the way that my pain tolerance is set up, I'm really surprised that I feel like I did really good. My mom told me that I did way better than she thought I was gonna do. And if a lot of y'all know, if y'all know me, I've been talking about giving birth and how scared I was to actually give birth, because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know how I was gonna react. And I was scared to get a C-section if anything, but thank God I didn't have to. But yeah, I didn't think, like, I was just so scared. How am I gonna give birth? How's this gonna happen? Am I gonna freak out? Da, 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 da. Am I gonna get an epidural? Am I gonna take this? Am I gonna do that? And he came a whole 3 weeks early. He came a whole 3 weeks early. Mind you, because my birthday is July 30th. Everybody, oh, what if he come on your birthday? What if he come on your birthday? And I'm like, stop putting that in the air. I'm not gonna lie, I did not want him to be born on my birthday. As selfish as it might sound, my birthday, and I know a lot of other people have my birthday as well. My birthday is my birthday. I would like to celebrate my birthday, you know? That's my day. I don't want my kid to be born on my birthday. If he is, he is. God bless, he's healthy, you know, baby's here. But I was hoping that he would not be born on my birthday, so I could have my day for me. If he was born, see, he was born 3 days earlier than me. His birthday is the 27th, my birthday is the 30th. If he was born a few days earlier, I'm happy. A few days after, the day after, I'm happy. But the fact that he came a whole three weeks early. But yeah, that's basically my story. I would rate pregnancy a 5 out of 10. 5 being the goodness of feeling your baby move and the love and, you know, having a human growing inside you and whatnot. The other 5 that I didn't give the points for is being sick, getting huge, feeling fat, your feet swelling, throwing up, all that bad stuff. So it's like 5 out of 10. Labor, I feel like I would give, I don't know, because for me, I feel like it wasn't that bad, honestly. The postpartum part, that's a different story, but it wasn't that bad for me either, honestly. Labor, I think I give labor, I think I give it a 5 out of 10 as well. Only because, well, for me, because everybody is different. Only because the beginning half of my contractions weren't that bad, and then it got bad and I took the epidural, and the only thing I had was the pressure. I was in labor for maybe about 12 hours. So that too, but yeah, that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what else you guys would like to see from me in the comments. I have a lot of ideas, especially now that my baby is here. Baby Amir is here, born on July 27th, 2021 at 12:38 a.m. 6 pounds 13 ounces. I gotta remember these things. The fact that I actually have to remember these things. 6 pounds, 13 ounces, 18 inches long. 18 and a half inches long, I believe. But yes. Thanks for watching. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah.